Hello, welcome back to Journals by Jadis. I have a quick flip through that I would like to share with you on some journals that I started making back in the summer and just recently completed. They are very, very similar. They're about 98% the same. There are different embellishments, and as you can see, the fronts of them are different. The idea behind these was for them to be kind of like a first time journal, maybe with the idea of, for an adolescent girl, for her to kind of be, to write down her thoughts and kind of be able to have fun with maybe the idea of a junk journal for the first time. That was just at least the thought behind it. Obviously, that is not the only thing it can be used for. So I'll flip through one in maybe the more detail, and then the other one I'll just do a short flip through since I told you that they were pretty much about the same. So this one is already undone. This is Happy. It has a paper collage on the front. This is a fabric cover, but it does have cardstock on the inside. And let's see, so it's pliable. It's still soft, but it's pliable. And then there's a tie closure. This is a little bit of, I forget what this yarn is called, but it's super soft. I can't remember what it's called. But it's just looped through a hole, and then it can be closed by wrapping around and tucking. It can be split in half and tied, in a bow around the front. So obviously up to the owner at that point. This one's called Happy, obviously because of the happy paper collage on the front. And when you open it, the first page has a small pocket here. This is from one of those like money gift envelope things that I kind of took apart. And then inside, I'm going to set this down. Hopefully you can still see okay. It has a paper tag in there, an embellished paper tag. I actually think this one is identical to what's in the other one as far as the tag. So every time I made one, I just made two. But if I was short on supplies for one, I just made something very similar for the second one. On the front, it's just kind of a blank spot where the owner could write their name or, pretty much anything. This is scrapbook paper, and then I have a little fabric. Not fabric. I'm sorry. This is a paper scrappy ribbon thing. And then in here is a first pocket. And in the pocket, I have just kind of the scrappy paper fringe here on this is graph paper on backside and then lined paper on the front. Sorry about the lighting. The best lighting here for me is in the morning, and it's still morning. It's 10:15, but it's a little cloudy out today, and the sun has already started to shift past with this autumn, the autumn seasonal sunlight change. So in here is just a small little paper flip from some of the scraps from the book or from the process. And then it kind of has a little paper pull here. The pages are sewn in the middle, so it's just a straight stitch across the middle. And that is tucked here in this pocket just for some extra journaling space. Like I said, I did put some embellishments in here, but I left it kind of plain so that the owner could do what they wanted with it. This was from a page from a book. The title of this story was Thistledown, I believe. Susan Dexter. This is an old, address book page. These are embellishments from a planner that I deconstructed. This is just a piece of printed note. It said take note on it, printed note paper. A little piece of lined paper, pink piece of lined paper, scrapbook paper here, purple on the back. This is from like a phonics workbook thing, kids workbook. Thought that was just kind of neat to put in there. Deconstructed planner page. This is from I think that phonics book as well, just a plain page that had a lot of blank space on it. A page from a book that has beautiful illustrations. I think the book is from the 80s. I forget what it's called, but the paper is amazing. When you tear it, it's so like creamy, and the images are amazing. A little piece of, what's it called? Like steno paper, where you make notes. The middle of the signature, and then this is the same yarn that's wrapped around it. This is what I bound it with. So now we're on the other side of the paper. This is the book paper, and I see it says October there, which is funny because it's obviously November now, but my birthday's in October, so every time I say it, I'm like, oh yeah, it's my birthday. So the other side of that paper, this is just a small fabric flip on a plain piece of paper. Deconstructed journal page. This is one of those happy planner ones. Phonics page. Oh, I saw this on Treasure Books. I'm sure a million people have done it, but I actually was sitting there watching her video while I was making this. So, so I'll tell you this piece as well. So it's just a folded piece of paper, folded up to look like an envelope. She had these really awesome paper clips, small spiral paper clips, which I do not have. So I dug through some of my stuff and I found these bangles, metal bangle bracelets, and I clipped them and got some of my jewelry tools out and then just made a little spiral. And it works perfectly as a paper clip. And you can add charms on them and stuff too. I just didn't on this one. Let's see. Ugh, just gotta hold on. There we go. Wrong angle. But nice little paper clip there. I just had it clipped in. I'm fumbling around my filming stand here. There we go. Paper clip back in. Scrapbook paper, pink lined notebook paper, some more lined paper. The other side that said take note. The address paper. This is 2 signatures, by the way. Sorry, I didn't mention that. The other side of the book paper. Another piece of the deconstructed journal page. It says grateful for, and it has some graph paper on the back. And then just a small little journaling card type thing. I believe it was junk mail card insert with 2 pieces of paper on either side. This is a paper ribbon. I know it's called something else, but I can't think of what it's called right now. In a pocket. This was made out of a file folder from the dollar store. The other side, this is the end of the first signature, so the second side of the scrapbook paper. Another paper ribbon here. This, I love doing this, and I've mentioned this on a few other tutorials that I've seen or other shows that I've watched, YouTubers that I've watched. If you take the paper handles from a paper bag that are twisted, if you pull them off of the paper bag and you untwist it, you get this really neat tissue craft paper type thing that's kind of crinkly, and it's pretty cool. So I just sewed that onto the end of the second, or onto the edge of the second signature paper. This is an envelope that just has a little card inside that says thrilled for you. It's just an empty card. I left it plain, and it doesn't have to go here. That's just where I put it so that you could see there was an envelope. The tinkling of the fairy bells. This is from a book. Another piece of like steno paper. Piece of scrapbook paper. Put some diamond bling on the edge of this page just to zhuzh it up a bit. This is just a little, it came in like a pack of cards, and I just put like a washi sticker. I just slightly embellished it. A small altered paper clip, nothing super fancy, just some scrap ribbon, and I just threw a seam across it real quick so it wouldn't want to come undone from it. And I just picked a page for it to be attached to, kind of so that you could still see this hanging out the top. I was trying to find a page to, so you could do that. This is from like a coloring, that phonics book thing that I had, just a different page. Deconstructed planner page with dots, lines, the address paper, the phonics page, more the other side of, or a different piece of lined paper. This is that beautiful book that I love. Look at this watercolor. It's just so pretty. More pink paper. This was an image out of a stencil book. And this was a girl's bedroom, and they were showing how they put, I think it was like ballerina, ribbon like for their shoes across. That was the stencil. This is that Thrilled For You card again, just in the center, center of the signature here. And a small altered binder clip, just clipping on another one of those pieces from the journal, or from, that planner. These are just baker's twine with some buttons and beads on it. Just a simple altered binder clip. Okay, and then basically the back sides of everything. This is just a piece of fabric that I put on here. It's like felt or micro suede or something. I forget what it's called, but very soft, kind of like baby blanket material. This is that girl's room. I don't know if you can see, but I liked the picture. So that's why I added that in here. And then the other side of the book page, with the beautiful pictures, some lined paper, the phonics page, address book, deconstructed planner, phonics book. This might be the phonics book too, or it's just a coloring. I forget. I have 2 like kids books, so I didn't want to put like too kiddie of stuff in here, but something that's more youthful versus like if this were an adult vintage junk journal, I may not put that type of thing in there. That notebook paper, the other side of the scrapbook paper, the other side of this steno paper. another blank. This is part of the book page, the tinkling of the fairy bells or something. And then this is the part of that envelope. So here's the envelope, and then this is the top of it. And then the final page, I just put on a little bit of ribbon on the trim here. And then in the back is a pocket. And I folded the edge over to give it a little bit more structure. And then in there is a journaling card and a paper tag. This is a decoupage napkin. And then this is one of those papyrus stickers that you get. I got a package of cards at an estate sale, and the stickers were in there, and I think it's really pretty, and I thought it went well with this. So that, and then some lined paper sewn onto the back, or so it's sewn onto some lined paper. And then this does have an eyelet in here to add a little bit of strength, and then I just tied the ribbon through the back of the book, so when it's closed, the owner can decide how they would like to close it. So that's that one. That's kind of, I would say, more in depth. This one I'll go ahead and show you just because there are a few differences. The beginning of this one just has a different, instead of the coin envelope, this is one of those like gift, you know, like swag pouch things. Same journaling card, same journaling, same tags, same papers. These are just the other sides of everything, honestly, because I'll tell you what happened. This was going to be one book, and then I decided it was a little too big and I didn't like where it was going. So I cut it in half and I made two, and I'm actually much happier with this decision. So that's how that came to be. That's why the size is the way that it is. I'll grab a ruler here in a second and let you know what the sizing is. So same thing. These are the same book pages, the same, there's the tops and the bottoms of them. I cut them in half. Another one of those envelope things that I saw from Natasha at Treasured Books. Another spiral clip. I think this one's rose gold. The other one was more golden color. So this one has a few more folds in it, but it is essentially the same idea. Get this clipped back in. You could add a little charm or something here. I may do that in the end, but I wanted to be able to call it done. When is a journal actually ever done? This is the exact same one from the other. It's even the same papers in the signature. They might be in slightly different places. This has a little paper bag here that I just took and made a scrapbook paper tag. This is just an extra spot of journaling paper that I punched lace corners onto. Same paper here. This is a different envelope, but it's the same book, the same paper, extra paper book. And I just put it in this envelope. And then a little small fabric flip, same fabric. This has a little extra journaling spot I sewed in here. If I remember correctly, what I think this was is this was the top portion and that was the bottom portion. So if this has a couple extra little things up at the top, it's because it was the top of the book. Like I said, I'll probably go back and add in maybe a couple other things to this other one, the first one that I showed you. This has another altered paper clip in it from just one out of my stash. It's just scrapbook paper folded over into like the banner folding. And let me turn down my baby monitor real quick. My kiddo was taking a nap, so I thought I would go ahead and get a quick video in, but it looks like he's ready to get up. This is just a strip of washi down the edge of that page. Lined paper, book page, that fleecy flannel there, the ribbon I was showing you from before, same picture, a card in the middle. This is just a card, like a greeting card. Same altered binder clip. This has a little journaling card here. And then another, looks like journaling tag with a little pull there with some lace punches on the corner. Let's see, these are all the same. This is just there for decoration. Same paper tag there. Journaling tag there. Some bling over here. And another paper ruffle. That's what it is, paper ruffle. What was I calling it? I don't know what I was calling it. So that's the end of the book. And then just journaling cards here in this pocket, like in the other one. This says Stay Magical. So yes, minus a couple extra embellishments that I want to add here. when I was making things, I tried to make two or make multiples and then divvy one out so that they would be equal. Again, same closure. This one is a little shorter, but it can be used the exact same way. So these are my two journals that I feel like are pretty much complete, as you saw. My intention for these is to list them into my Etsy shop, and when I do so, I can leave the link, or I can leave the link to my Etsy shop, and if you're able to see them in there, then they will be available for purchase. But thank you so much for watching. If you have any comments, go ahead and leave them down in the comment section below, and I'd love to interact with you there. Have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.